You're listening to Lore Friendly with Chris Tagashi, and once again, back from God knows where Alice fell.
I'm back again.
We
Hello.
speculated a couple weeks ago, me and Jennifer, we speculated that you possibly had died.
Um, Not
We went
quite.
straight for the grim answer there. Well, actually, she speculated you had died. I speculated that it was much, much worse. A much more pernicious disease of love.
Aww. I mean, it's kind of right. No, well, I spent 3 weeks down in Brighton looking after kittens, which was really cute until they started attacking me and my boyfriend.
Again, love.
Yeah,
It's a sick disease. It's
It's-
just...
gross. Now I've ended up with like a massive scratch up my hip. He's got a big scratch down his stomach, which makes him look kind of cool. So thanks for that, cats. They also peed in his suitcase because they
Oh,
didn't
nice.
like him.
Again, cats are just... They just don't like to see that kind of thing. It's just... They like to live solitary lives.
Not those two. Like, because I was down in Brighton by myself for the first week. The cats decided to sleep on my face and on my boobs. And it wasn't very nice, honestly. I like to cuddle up by myself. I don't like having a cat sleeping on my face.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would be too comfortable.
And they'd wake you up every day at 4:30 to feed. It's like they'd start scratching at your face. And it's like, I shouldn't be up at 4:30.
No.
You gotta give them food, and then you've got to go back to bed, and then they start meowing and running about everywhere, and
So, in other words, you were on vacation, or I'm not sure where you were, but...
It was kind
You
of
survived.
vacation, I guess. Yeah. And then since I've been back, I've basically been working flat out because I got a new job. You'll never guess what my new role is at my job.
What is it?
I'm playing a prostitute.
Wait, you already talked about this. I was going to say that your new job was possibly the town drunk, but...
No, I was... Basically, my audition was the prostitute.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to play Elizabeth Fry, who was a prison reformer. And she made many improvements to England's prisons in her time. So I've been playing her for like the last 4 weeks.
You could just step right into that role.
Yeah, and then we're starting up a new season of characters. So I'm playing Mary Brammer, the first woman from Nottingham to be transported to Australia.
Oh, okay.
And she was a woman of the night.
Australia, isn't that where we send our criminals?
Yep, that's why we sent her. 'Cause she
What
was a
did she
criminal.
do? What was her crime?
She stole 10 pence worth of goods. 10 whole pennies. And she escaped from prison.
I'm assuming they were very strict with any kind of criminal behavior. It sounds very Puritan.
Well, she was from Narrowmarsh, which is apparently the big criminal slums of Nottingham, so no change there. And
okay.
they weren't very good with the law enforcement there, to be honest.
Narrowmarsh. Sounds a lot like Kjolmarsh.
Yeah.
Do they have vampires in Narrowmarsh too?
Yes. Probably.
Is-
They had a lot of violent murderers there.
Is P Queen a popular name?
Yes. Incredibly popular.
It's like Smith there.
Yeah, it's literally everyone's last name.
You could have very well been an Alice P Queen if your father wasn't a bell maker or your ancestor wasn't a bell maker.
Oh, yeah. I could have also been a tanner.
Oh.
Because I also do cave tours. Because there are many caves in Nottingham that you can explore. And in our caves, we have the only cave-based tannery in the whole of Europe.
Why are they tanning in caves?
Because, basically, the sandstone caves in Nottingham were ideal because they provided a regular temperature to do all this chemically type storing stuff.
Ah, it's always the temperature stuff,
Yeah.
huh?
Plus, it was near loads of pubs, and it was near Narrowmarsh, so they could hire kids to pick up all the dog poo, which they needed for the tanning process, and they could go to the pubs up the street and buy their barrels of piss.
Oh, piss is very important. It's a very important chemical.
You said, yeah, It's the main part of the tanning process.
So if I want to tan my leathers, I should just piss on them, basically, is what I got out
No,
of it.
what you need to do first, if you want to tan your leathers, is you need to get the skin of an animal, right? And you need to soak it in quicklime, right? And that makes it go really hard and it makes all the flesh scab up. And then you can just scrape it off with a blunt knife, right? And then you need to soften it up because nobody wants a leather jacket where they're just walking around with their arms up in T-pose. So what you do is you rub it with pee and you rub it with dog shit. And then you take it down to the river to wash, and then you bring it back up, and then you make a leather lasagna with leather and oak and leather and oak, and then you stamp on it, and then you leave it.
Or you can just walk up to the tanning rack and press E. That usually works for me in Skyrim.
That as well. So for Elder Scrolls 6, I propose a realistic tanning mod.
Yeah, there should be a mod to let you pee on the leathers. I mean, I don't want to do all that other stuff, but the peeing part sounds pretty fun.
I want a realistic tanning mod now. Guys, get on it. Anybody who mods, who listens to this podcast, get on it.
Yeah, anybody who mods other than me.
I want to piss on some leathers.
Well, because animations aren't my, they aren't my bag, as people would say. It's just not what I do, so.
And we need...
Sorry, guys.
You need to rub shit into the leather as well. You've got to make it work. Realistic
that
tanning! That's what I want. Get on it, Bethesda.
You should be an advisor to realistic tanning whenever they implement it.
Hey, my rates are very reasonable in that they're free.
Anyways, we have a lot to talk about because you've been gone for a while. Jennifer did a valiant job filling in, but mostly all we talked about is fruit. And I have no idea how we got to 30 minutes, but we mostly talked about fruit and nonsense. I don't know.
So what's your favourite fruit, Chris?
I don't have a favorite fruit.
Mine's
I like
raspberries.
Them all. Yeah.
I like
Are we
raspberries.
turning this into a full-time fruit podcast?
That's a raspberry.
Is it a sound a raspberry makes?
That's what we call making that noise, is making raspberries.
Oh, okay. Actually, raspberries are the one fruit I never liked.
What?
I'm more of a blueberry guy.
Yeah, I do like blueberries in my breakfast. Hello?
Yeah. Does that warrant a response? You like blueberries in your breakfast. Fantastic, Alice. Wow.
Wow, goddamn. What else do you like in your breakfast?
Yes.
Well, I like all bran. I like a bit of almond milk if I can afford it. I like to sprinkle a bit of sugar on top, and it's delicious and nutritious, and it makes you poo.
So you could see why this kind of talk doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's strictly forbidden from future podcasts, fruit talk.
Oh, but I like being fruity.
Yeah, that's true. Most people do for some reason.
I'm a fruity
So
character.
what sort of topics do we have to talk about today? I know we had some...
Metal Gear!
Yes, Metal Gear movie. I had no idea this was even coming out.
I have heard whispers about it for years and years and years. You know who I think should be a lead producer on it?
Who?
David Hayter. He's been, he did all the X-Men movies and stuff, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah. He's not just a voice actor.
Well, they have a director already who's sort of the guy who's controlling everything. I'm evil Seth Rogen, as I like to call him. I mean,
he looks crazy.
Is it me, or does he have the exact same voice and sort of facial and bodily features as Seth Rogen? Only it's evil. His beard is longer. He looks more dastardly.
Oh yeah, he's been going back, David Hayter has been a screenwriter for X-Men, X2, and Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
So I reckon he should at least have a consulting role, because he knows the character better than anyone.
That's true. Do we know, though, that it's even going to resemble the video game version of Snake? I mean, we don't know. It's basically this guy has license to do whatever he wants. I mean, Kojima basically told him, just have at it.
But he sounds like an absolute fanboy.
Yeah, he also does
Going
sound
by
like that.
the interview on IGN.
Oh, he definitely is a fanboy.
Yeah, he sounds fantastic.
So if anyone is going to bring David Hayter on, it'd be him.
Yeah, and I think he definitely needs to. Because, yes.
What do you think the film is going to do? Where is it going to take place? What do you think as far as timeline is concerned? or game? Which particular game would you like to
I
see?
think MGS1 is the most iconic, but the Metal Gear 1 story could do with some updating.
Yeah.
So I reckon, as much as I'd like to see MGS1 and its massively convoluted plotline on my main screen, I think in terms of the series canon and everything, because MG1 and MG2 are kind of forgotten about generally in the main series, so I feel like we need to have a decent adaptation of them.
So you mean the 8-bit Nintendo game?
Yeah. And because it's quite light on story in the grand scheme of things, it allows a bit more play.
That's true.
Whereas with the main MGS series, it's so story heavy that there's no real way to have creative freedom without upsetting a lot of the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple story. You go, you have this like fucking Black Ops mission. You go in, and then it turns out like Big Boss, your boss essentially was behind it all. So it's got a little bit of a twist, and it's a simple story. It'd be easy to pull off. But would it really feel like a Metal Gear film? I mean, it didn't really have a lot of the really cool stuff that Metal Gear Solid had, like Psycho Mantis, a Gray Fox.
It did have some crazy, crazy bosses from what I can recall, though. I never got very far in it. It was hard.
Yeah, the fact that it's 8-bit, I mean, there might have been some really creative stuff. It's just that it's because it's an 8-bit Nintendo game, you can't really tell what they look like. They just look like a bunch of pixels. I mean,
well, this is what gives them creative freedom. So instead of doing like all 8 bosses or whatever, they could condense them into like 4 bosses and really develop their characters in a similar way to the main bosses from the main series.
Right.
Give them a bit of backstory.
Does that have enough fan service, though, you think?
I think so long as the actor playing Snake has David Hayter's voice.
Do you want David Hayter to play Snake?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
And I want throwbacks to the main series, so you can see how things are going to develop into the main series of the video games, because the video games are incredibly cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kojima has come out hundreds and hundreds of times as saying, I basically wanted to make a movie, but with a game.
Yeah.
And you can tell that, because everything is framed and shot like a movie. So I feel like making a movie of the main series would be kind of redundant.
That is true. That is true.
Like, I have literally just sat down and spent my evenings watching a cut together of all the cutscenes.
So wait, you've already watched the movie? Or there already is a movie?
Yeah, it's called the main series of games.
That's what the director should do. They should just take all the cutscenes from the games and just like live act them exactly the same way.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Oh, I'm so down for that.
From what it sounded like, though, and based on some of the concept art, it seemed like they were going to do like multiple timelines. Like they're actually going to have something that stretches across like the breadth of multiple games. So I don't know how you feel about that, but like
there is no way, there is no physical way on God's green earth that they are going to be able to remotely condense down this series into a single film. There is no fucking way. No way.
So if you had to pick one, you'd go with the 8-bit version.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get some like Metal Gear Solid, a lot of Metal Gear Solid, just because that's the game that everybody
that's the big
plays. One. Yeah, so.
But I feel like a lot of the commentary on MGS2 and things are going to be completely redundant because like the stories were written for a video game format in that. So MGS4 talks about training soldiers through video games. It's meant to be a condemnation of the player.
Right. Isn't MGS2, doesn't it talk about how like using media to control the state? So that might be
but it's
topical.
also like a big thing of it is also the simulation, training people through simulations kind of thing.
Mm.
So
well, isn't Twitter basically that?
Is Twitter a simulation?
Well, it's training people through, well, I guess that's more of a media thing. You're right. Yeah, it's not a simulation. There's a lot of things that don't translate to real life. There's a giant fucking tank that shoots nuclear weapons, which I don't think is practical at all. So,
Yeah,
and
but
there's also like
think-
flying people in gas masks. And
Yeah, but they make sense within the game's universe.
yeah. Metal Gear has always had that element of supernatural. It's like military surreal, I think is what the director called it. So I think
Yeah.
he has a good grasp of what. Yeah, and he's a fanboy.
So long as you ignore MGS5. It didn't happen. I feel like you're going to get a better product out of somebody who actually cares about the franchise. So they're going to know how we think.
I just hope they have the naked Raiden scene, because that's
Yes!
gonna be fucking hilarious. He's going to be like very flexible and can do cartwheels with his hands on his crotch.
Yes!
But yeah, on that note, do you think he's going to be faithful to the games or try to make it more cinematic or make it more like a movie? Although granted, the joke is Metal Gear's a movie already, but yeah. What do you think?
I think faithful to the games,
Yeah.
but that's just because I wouldn't dare touch that storyline with a barge pole. Because you move one little thing and the whole fucking scenario falls apart.
Yeah. To be fair, also, I think that's his mindset just based on his Zelda comments.
Yeah.
Because he also talked about like possibly making a Zelda game, and like in the course of his comments, he suggested that Link could be a silent protagonist. I'm not sure how that would work, but
Stitch his mouth shut like in the X-Men movie.
can a movie have a silent protagonist?
I mean, it'd be interesting for sure, but it'd be a fun experiment, but maybe not something you want to do on a big budget Hollywood movie, you know?
Yeah, maybe not. Half-Life would be another one that have a silent protagonist, right?
Oh yeah, but I don't know. You'd have to think very carefully about how you're doing it, because you can't have a protagonist that doesn't react.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have some mighty fine actors.
He's willing to experiment, that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Maybe do a
we'll
short
see.
film first, see how it goes.
Try it out, just,
But yes, on the note of adaptational sacrilege, Nintendo flattened Snake's butt in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I'm sure we all agree that Snake's arse is one of the most finely rendered in all of video game history. And it is a significant feature of video game history
Is
because the camera always zooms in on it.
I've never even noticed Snake's butt.
That's because it's just so perfect. And then you look at what they've done in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it's terrifying. His thighs are bigger than his bum. Even my thighs aren't like that, and I don't have a bum.
So is it like over censorship? Like they didn't give him any butt, it's just flat? It's like it doesn't look human anymore?
I've sent you a link.
I need comparison shots too.
There's a
so-
comparison shot. There's one of Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh my god, what is
Yeah!
that?
Yeah, see?
He doesn't have a butt.
Exactly. What the fuck happened?
Wait, though, are you sure that's not the front shot? Maybe his butt's on the
No.
back side?
No, that's not how dicks work.
He could have no dick. It wouldn't be the first NPC not to have a dick. He would be the first NPC almost to not have a butt, though. Butts are pretty common.
Yeah.
among NPCs.
But yeah, you can. It's just tragic. And David Hayter tweeted about this. And this is probably the highlight of my life, in that I made a very poor reference to the video games. In that, so David Hayter tweeted, "Oh, there's a whole host of reasons why Snake's butt is important." I retweeted it, saying Snake, Snake, Snake! And I got a like from David Hayter. Senpai noticed me.
You're basically besties now.
Yeah, the one guy who always made me want to go into voice acting.
You've officially peaked.
It's all downhill from here.
I gotta say, though, what if they mocapped that butt? What if there's somebody out there who has, like, the flattest butt in the world, and they're just in tears right now because everyone's saying that fucking
Well, the
model
thing
has
is,
no
have
butt.
you not seen the the motion capture sessions for the Uncharted series? Because they get the voice actors to
I
do
have
the
not
mocap
seen
for it as well. So it's like a realistic performance. And not to shade him or anything, but Nolan North does not have the same physique as Nathan Drake.
Probably not. Most voice actors don't resemble the person that they're playing, which is fine. It's
What are
just
you talking about? I look exactly like Mara.
no. So like we have Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, right?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, if Kevin Conroy was put into a video game, if that face and body, they would give him like a really squirrely, like squealy voice, or like a really snaky voice.
Yeah,
like,
he'd be like one of the evil guys from Dishonored.
Yeah, and that's not how voices work. I mean, pardon me for railing against vocal stereotypes again, but voices can come in all types. Big guys can have squealy voices. One of these days, they're gonna make a video game, and they're gonna have a big buffed alpha male type, and he's gonna have a really high pitched voice, and it's gonna be totally natural. Totally realistic.
I believe that is already probably a part of Borderlands. To be honest, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be a joke. It's gonna be his regular voice.
It's just gonna be fine. Gonna be
it's just gonna be
natural.
normal.
Break the stereotypes, man.
Yeah.
Sexy women don't always sound sexy.
No.
And unsexy women, such as me, have sexy voices.
You're doing just fine, Alice. You're just fishing for a compliment now.
Yeah, I am. Always
fine.
fishing.
I'll give in.
Yeah.
You're sexy, Alice. Don't say that. You're the sexiest mama alive. Why did I say mama? That sounds weird. It sounds like slaver.
I'm so much younger than you, Chris. That's just weird.
It's the first word that popped into my head for no apparent reason.
Oh, mama.
Yeah. That's what he used to say, Slater. He'd say, hey, mama.
Mama.
In Saved by the Bell. Which, again, is dating myself.
Didn't mean to make you cry. Sorry.
That's not the theme song to Saved by the Bell.
Yes, it is. Sometimes I wish I'd never been born. Lord.
People would have a completely different expectation of the show if that was the song. No, it was something like, it's alright because you're saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell.
It was exactly like that.
Let's make up the tune. Saved by the bell because we're in school and it sucks. Oh, yeah.
See, that's wrong, but it's actually, like, on theme.
Saved by the bell. I'm available for parties and funerals.
And music, I guess, too.
Yes.
You can do the soundtrack for the next 90s sitcom that becomes popular.
I can do the soundtrack
Among
for the
young
next
teens.
Elder Scrolls game that was announced whilst I was away.
Oh, that's right. Do you have any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on that mountain range that hasn't been discussed already?
I just want to go to the Somerset Isles.
That mountain range could be in the Somerset Isles. We don't know. It could be anywhere.
I hope
It's
so.
deliberately ambiguous.
Yeah. I just really want to go to the Somerset Isles.
Don't we all?
Because that will be the perfect continuation of the Thalma storyline.
Well, at least you didn't say Elsewhere or what's the other one? Black Marsh, because those are games that are never coming.
The thing is, they're both so inhospitable to outside races that you couldn't reasonably, within law, like, have your player character be not an Argonian or a Khajiit.
Yeah, Black Marsh would be
Unless you
fun.
had another really weird, like, Talos-y, like, ascending event where, I can't remember what they call it. It's basically this big event that they use to explain why, Cyrodiil used to be, like, rainforest. And then this big event happened with Talos, and then it became medieval England.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can't see how they're going to explain that. Unless they had an event like that, they're not going to be able to set a game in Black Marsh. Maybe a DLC.
Yeah, I just think it would be fun to traverse, but the preponderance of lizards would make it like a harder sell, I think. Just to like you're selling a game full of lizards. But yeah.
No, I want Somerset Isles. Give me Somerset Isles. Wanna go see
and you could have
Eleanor.
that because the other places like Valenwood would be a logistical nightmare because
walking
the lore says
trees,
there's moving cities. Yeah. So you have that leaves Hammerfell, High Rock, which already had a game,
and High Rock's tiny as well.
Yeah, and then we have Somerset Isle.
Needs to be Somerset Isles, man.
Well, it makes sense story-wise, right?
Yeah.
Because we just had a Thalmor invasion. That's the head of the Thalmor. That's the Thalmor headquarters.
Yeah.
The king of Thalmors. What do they call it?
I think they
What
call
do
it
the
Eleanor
leader?
now, don't they? Because it was like
the Eleanor of Thalmors.
The main. It was like the main city in Somerset Isles, and now Somerset Isles is referred to as Eleanor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If my research that I did about a year ago when I was writing fan fiction was a thing.
Yeah, but that's the name of the city, right? It's not the name of the head dude.
No, it's not the name of the head dude.
Because, you have Jarls in Skyrim. You have the Emperor in Cyrodiil.
It's the head wanker.
We have the Queen of England, the Prime Minister of England, or the UK. So is it like,
Probably. It'd probably be like magic based, like Warlock or something.
the Grand Wizard, the head wizard of Alinor.
Or the Great Wizard.
What's Dumbledore's title?
Headmaster.
Oh, there you go. But he's the leader of a school, not
a
fucking province.
You have the Minister of Magic.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Hogwarts.
The new Fantastic Beasts trailer came out, in which we see Dumbledore, who was at this point in time a Transfiguration teacher, teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts.
That's a no-no.
No, it's definitely a no-no. That was... ugh.
But doesn't J.K. consult on that stuff?
Yeah, but she is also becoming, I hate to use the word, but increasingly problematic. Her defense of Johnny Depp's casting, for example.
Oh, yeah, is it? He's like he's horrible, right? He's a horrible human being.
Been under fire for domestic abuse.
Yes.
And when this came out, everyone was like calling for them to just recast Colin Farrell, because Colin Farrell did an absolutely amazing job in the first Fantastic Beasts film.
Wait, he was Grindelwald,
yeah,
right?
But then...
Why did they change that?
Because he was in disguise for some reason.
Oh, that's right. At the end of the movie,
Yeah.
Johnny Depp pops up. Yeah, okay,
And he just looked stupid, and it was a stupid casting choice anyway, and Colin Farrell would be a much better fit.
I mean, how long was Depp in that movie? It was like 5 minutes,
2
right?
minutes.
Just fucking reshoot it.
Yeah. Just fucking reshoot it and be like, nah, we're getting rid of him. Colin Farrell was praised to the heavens for his performance. It was fantastic. And it's not a twist, because it was absolutely fucking stupid. Like, there was no need for him to be in disguise.
Well, they knew what Grindelwald looked like, right?
No.
They didn't?
Not in America,
Wasn't
no.
he? Okay, there was that reason that he was, he was on the run or whatever. He was an outlaw, and people might have recognized him.
But, like, Grindelwald's blonde, and he's meant to be somebody that Albus Dumbledore was able to fall in love with. And bear it in mind
Right.
that Albus Dumbledore is being played by the rather handsome Jude Law.
I mean, he didn't need the Colin Farrell disguise. He could have just dyed his hair brown, wore some glasses, Clark Kent style, and it works for Clark. Probably would have worked for Grindelwald.
I think he was probably like, damn, Colin Farrell's hot. I'm just going to, like, imitate him, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I would change myself to Colin Farrell just
in
for
a heartbeat.
cosmetic reasons.
Yeah.
I just go out there and just live it up.
Yeah, and plus the whole thing with Ilvermorny, which is the American school of witchcraft and wizardry. Basically, the houses and the spells and the magic are all based off of Native American culture, and yet Ilvermorny was established by a load of white colonial wizards. Because fuck.
Yeah, that's not good.
And the CGI looked a little bit off in the trailer as well. There was this one particular four-legged creature in the trailer that I looked at and I was just like, did they not finish rendering this in time for the trailer to come out? Because it just looked so shit.
And the funny thing is, they could replace that shitty CGI if enough people can complain, but for whatever reason, they don't want to replace the actor for actual, like, meaningful reasons. I mean, again, they did it for fucking Star Wars, and this was like 20, 30 years later. They just fucking just wiped out the old actor and put Hayden Christensen's fucking ghostly visage there. You could do it for, it's about like 2 minutes more with Johnny Depp, so you do the same thing.
Exactly. And Colin Farrell's probably cheaper as well.
Yeah.
So you can save that, so that money that you're saving on your actor, you can spend on the fucking CGI, can't you?
Exactly. Fix the things that need to be fixed, which is the CGI monsters.
Yeah.
And the other monster, the real life monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I am interested to see how the actual plotline goes. But it seems like it's kind of making the ending of the first film a little bit redundant. Because you've got Jacob Kowalski coming back. And in the trailer, he appears to have regained his memory.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was the big emotional conclusion to the first Fantastic Beasts film.
Well, it would suck if he lost his memory again, because then the first film would be meaningless, and then you'd be rehashing the same story. This, at least he retains his memory.
No, he lost his memory.
Oh, he lost it.
The only thing that he retained was, like, the weird creatures, and he just made, like, he saw them in his dreams, and so he just, like, made baked goods.
Oh, well, that's dumb. It's like if in the Elder Scrolls 6, Alduin just came back. He's just back again.
Back again.
Hey, it's me, Alduin,
Hi.
World Eater.
Glad to be back here. Lovely to see you. I should voice act Alduin.
Yeah, same plot line, same as the first. What's the phrase? Second verse, same as the first.
Yeah, that's the one. And then finally, the only other thing that interested me from Comic-Con was new Doctor Who trailer.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Cool. Although I wish they would. I guess they don't want to tease anything or spoil anything. I guess is the word. They do want to tease. They don't want to spoil. I wish they would show more of Jodie. They just show her standing there smiling
and being Yorkshire.
I just feel like I need more. She doesn't even talk. She's just standing there, just glowing and looking great in her like really cool 70s outfit.
She just looks so cool.
I just want more. Make her move her head. Yeah. Make her read something. I don't know. Make her like move. She's just standing there.
This is the first time that I have been excited for a Doctor Who series in ages.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm excited for all new TV.
I don't know. I don't really have time for it. I've kind of like petered off of Westworld.
See, that's where we're different. I need things to fill up the time. So I'm like, yes, new TV. I just downloaded something called Mrs. Maisel, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or something. I don't know. It's more time to fill.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I can get that as well. It's all good.
Okay, nice. But yeah, there's like shows. There's so many shows. I haven't even gotten to the new season of The Handmaid's Tale. So
me neither. Apparently, it went very downhill. So I'm excited. You know me.
It looked very dark.
You know me. I love my favorite TV shows going downhill.
Lots of torture.
I should just stop liking things. It's like as soon as I start to like something, it just goes downhill straight away. Game of Thrones, Jessica Jones, Westworld, all that kind of thing. It's all kind of gone careening down a hill. Because I started liking it.
That tends to happen.
I should just stop.
Life. Just give up.
Yeah. Give up having any hope for anything.
Lowered expectations are good, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about giving up, but lowered expectations are always a good thing.
But I just want to have hope, Chris. I'm so tired of being nihilistic.
Like Handmaid's Tale, I mean, it's such a good series for the time At the same time, you could get fatigue, I guess, because we're living in this world.
Yeah, it's kind of... What I've heard is that basically this new series is basically torture porn.
Yeah.
We want something with a bit of hope.
Yeah.
Because that's what the first season had, was that there was the hope of escape.
That's why you need to stick to Disney and Pixar films like I do.
Yes. That sounds like a fantastic idea. I might well just do that and go to the cinemas and watch Incredibles 2.
Can you imagine if that was filled with misery and torture?
Oh
and just
my
was
god.
Depressing?
Just kill me.
Yeah.
I want media that makes me happy.
I think there's an age where you kind of like want that sort of stuff, where you're like, you want something gritty and dark, and you're tired of all the Disney movies. You're tired of them lying to you about reality.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that ends somewhere in the teenage young adult.
I don't
years,
know,
I'm
I
not
still
sure.
get that from time to time. I've just finished watching the first series of Twin Peaks. And it's been really good, and I've really enjoyed it. But then...
Yeah, that's pretty trippy. Then.
But now I'm really worried about how the second season's going to turn out.
I forgot about, but that show was a cultural phenomenon when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember. It was big. I was like a fucking kid, and I would like, oh, Twin Peaks is on. I'd go and watch it, but then after a while, it just got too weird for people. I don't know, and it just got canceled. But anyways, another depressing end to life.
Yeah.
So, what else did you want to cover this week?
I think we've got enough material, actually.
Yeah.
It's been good to talk to you again, my man.
Yeah.
I've missed your dulcet tones.
Yes. My sexy voice.
Thank you to Jennifer for filling in with me whilst I was dead.
Yeah.
Much appreciated, but I am back from the dead.
For now.
For now.
So, that's it for this episode of Lower Friendly. Tune in next week when we talk about something else.
Good day.
Not lore friendly.
Goodbye.